Ferentz, it appears as if that clock has run out.
Well, it has run out. Beth Getz, the interim AD, who I think will be the full-time AD after this is all said and done, made the decision. He's going to stay. There were some reports that the wide receivers coach was going to take over, but he's going to stay until after the bowl game, and then he will be gone.
Well, go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a logical decision. I mean, we played this game for long enough at this point. We kind of know the deal. They lost the last time we saw them to Iowa in a 12-10 game. Prior to that, we saw them win 15-6. They've scored 20, 26, 0, 41 against Western Michigan. But beyond that, they hadn't scored more than 26 points at all this season, other than that Western Michigan game. So it's been bad, especially here lately as they've gotten deeper into Big Ten play. It's been a running joke to the point of it's not even a joke anymore. It's like not even – you can kind of squeeze some funny out of it. It's just kind of – it ticks you off when you think about it. I think if you're an Iowa fan, and nevertheless they still keep winning.
Yep.
So it's hard at 6-2 to really get too upset about it, but you wonder what you could be if you had an offense that was capable of doing more. And so – yeah, I don't think this comes as a surprise. I think everybody's just probably at this point a little bit fed up with the running joke that has been the Iowa offense.
All right, so here's a note about, in fact, Iowa's offense. Garrett Ross, by the way, running the mothership. Jack McKenzie, Emery Winter, Levi Caraway. Iowa's game against Northwestern this week at Wrigley Field has an over-under of 29.5. It's the lowest over-under in college football history.
Yep. That's how you get your offensive coordinator finally fired, is when in the history of gambling, they've decided there is no more math that we can add to this. We can't, we're making the number as small as we feel comfortable doing it. And there's probably some guys that are like, we could make that smaller. Like, 29.5 is the.
You think the new AD went online to make a. I'm not joking. I can't do that with Iowa. Iowa State. It's just bad. They have to. Here's the other thing that this is going to be big for Beth Getz if she is winds up being the full-time AD. You have to sit down with Kirk Ferentz and say, what is your vision for the future of this team as the conference is changing? What do you like? What offense are you comfortable running? Because it doesn't seem to me, at least outwardly, that he's been that bothered by this situation because they still win more games than they lose.
Yeah, I mean, I think the style fits them, right? I mean, the style fits well enough to win a bunch of games, but, I mean, it does prevent you from being more than what you have been. And so, 29.5 is awfully low. I think the other week, you put up an over-under that seemed pretty low, and I was like, oh, man, there's no way. And they, clearly vaulted right over that over-under like it was no problem whatsoever, or under that, I should say. But, yeah, I mean, they had 22 total against Minnesota, so that would have cleared. 21 points total in the Wisconsin game in a 15-6. They would have cleared there. So, yeah, I mean, Northwestern's been better than expected because of the fact of how their offseason went. I don't know how many people would have had them at 4-4. So they've been, good despite some major adversity suffered right as the season was getting underway. But Iowa's, it's a compliment, and it's a diss at the same time. It's like, hey, your defense is so good that we know you're not going to give up a lot of points, but your offense is so bad we know you're not going to score a lot of points, and therefore it makes it a fun game to see, how low they can go. And now they've found the new low, and you know what? They'll possibly find a way to get even lower than that, depending on how this weekend goes.
By the way, congratulations to Joe